Hello and welcome to DigFin VOX, Voices in Digital Finance. I'm your host, James DiBiasio. If you enjoy the program, give us a like, subscribe, let the algorithms know. My guest today is Andi Taufan Garuda Putra. Taufan, founder and CEO of Amartha, a Jakarta-based fintech that is providing services to small and micro-sized enterprises in rural and village areas across Indonesia. Taufan, welcome to DigFin VOX. It's great to have you. I'm delighted to have you on this because you're a founder, you're an entrepreneur, you're in Indonesia working with small and micro-sized businesses and individuals. Tell us a little bit about how and why you founded Amartha.
Thank you, James, for inviting me to this DigFin podcast. Really excited to share more on what we are building in Amartha and also our missions. With regard to your questions, I started Amartha back in 2010 when I was 23 years old. So now already almost 13 years journey for me serving this people at the bottom of the pyramids. In Amartha, our missions is driving shared prosperity for people at the bottom of the pyramids by building digital financial infrastructures for this grassroots economy. We in Amartha provide loan services, investments products, and also connects financial institutions, banks, and also individuals to get access to these microfinance segments or high quality MSMEs borrowers.
You must have seen quite a lot in 13 years. There's been plenty of ups and downs. What have been one or two of the biggest challenges for this type of business?
Good questions. So the last 13 years, definitely it's ups and downs journey, roller coaster rides, not an easy ways for me to run this business. There is a time when I have positions where I need to make a decision whether can we continue this business or shall we stop this business. It was back in 2015 when we are in the pivoting stage to really because we are a traditional microfinance, Grameen microfinance, but then it's quite challenging at that time, and then we see the opportunity to pivot. So we met investors and we pivot to become a marketplace microfinance. That's one of the challenging times. Couple years ago, the last 2 years, when we are facing COVID pandemic, definitely it's one of the hard times in this industry, especially because of this cash economy. They run their business in public markets, in schools area, and
everything's in person, face to face.
Everything moves from face to face to online, and our portfolio hits more than 40% at that time, and we work very hard to gradually recover everything.
Yeah, I want to go back, if you don't mind. Very interested in 2015. That was the year when the Fed, I think, attempted its initial pullback. They call it the taper tantrum. I think emerging markets like Indonesia were hit very hard by minor crisis in the finance system there. Was that the macro conditions that you were struggling with at that point?
Not exactly. The challenge is more on the internal part. So we see microfinance markets like in India, Bangladesh, it's much more comfortable for foreign investors to deploy debt funding facility to those markets, but not for Indonesia markets. We have a lot of microfinance, but they play in a local role, local levels, province levels, regency levels, and not scale up. What we are trying to build in Amartha is nationwide coverage and services, and it's quite hard for me to scale up the business to get funding.
Yep. And then came the idea of going digital.
It came idea how to raise more funding from retails individuals, because we believe that we can build a high quality asset class of these borrowers. Why don't we connect them to the marketplace so we can bring more individuals to directly invest and see real impacts of their money to the MSMEs.
So that's part of a big trend in Indonesia and much of Southeast Asia, this growing of digital economy. But you're bringing it to the people that are the least connected, I guess, right? We talk about a digital divide. A lot of your user base, your borrowers, your customers may not even have a phone. They're still very much cash in their daily lives. How has that changed? I mean, have you been able to help sort of create a meaningful change in that pattern where people are getting more access digitally?
Yeah, so it's very interesting question. So what we are right now in Amartha, we are also in the very exciting momentum. The last couple of years, definitely it's not easy for us to introduce technology to these segments because their business is running in cash. They run their business in a traditional way. But as we see more internet penetrations widening across Indonesia, across villages, smartphones becomes much more affordable. And we see now the trends of smartphones in the village is increasing and accelerating, and we try to use this momentum to really introduce technology in a much more advanced level to the segments. So what we do, we connect them to our own platforms, Amartha platforms, so they can directly access or top up their loans once they already have historical repayments with Amartha. It's much simpler and easier for them to request for top up loans. They can get access to investments through our platform and get competitive returns, competitive fixed income, competitive interest rates as well. And also we connect them, and we also build we upgrade, we call it warungs or neighborhood merchants across the village to
like
become
mom and pop shops.
Mom and pop shops to become a payment points, to convert cash to the and connecting them to the growing digital economy, so they can payments for their e-commerce transactions as well. And we connect them with e-commerce platforms so they can sell more products, not only groceries, but also fashions and also fashions products or cosmetics products to their beauty products to their customers to increase their income as well.
Fashion, cosmetics, these sorts of things. What is the way that you get data and some sort of profile of these users? Because it still sounds, although you're helping them digitize, they're coming from a cash or non-digital background. They probably don't have a bank account, I'm guessing. But then you've got somebody is providing loans, right, through your platform, and they're going to need some sort of confidence. They need a way to score and price what to do with these people. So how do you get that? How do you get and create that profile?
Okay, yeah. So what we do in Amartha is we embrace our customers that are run their business offline. So our approach is hybrid model. We build O2O model, offline to online model. We leverage troops on the ground. We have people on the ground now. Amartha have over 6,000 people across villages. We serve over 35,000 villages across Indonesia, and build a relationship with this every customers that we serve, every borrowers that we serve. We do directly assess and verify their businesses through our own platform, mobile apps, to do credit verifications. We quantify their assets to become to better understand the risk profiles of each businesses, to understand about their mom and pop stalls, how big is the size of the assets, the groceries products. We understand about the home industries, about those types of assets that they use to do their business. We quantify it, and we build our own proprietary credit decision engine, so we can risk profiling our own customers. And these platforms help us better understand the risk of this offline or traditional SME segments.
So the sourcing of the data is manual, but once it's in your system, then you can start to run analytics on it, and you can connect them digitally to either lenders or other wealth tech or whatever providers, or you can help them improve their business by then connecting them to like an e-commerce platform.
Yeah, that's the simple way. Just like you said, we our platforms do the credit decisions, credit profilings on these potential customers, and then we do have multiple data points, and also risk grading. So every institutions or individuals, they can align with their own risk appetites. They want high risk, high return, low risk, low returns. It's there in the marketplace, either farmers or traders or fishermen or other types of any types of micro businesses.
How attractive are these to your partners, say a bank or an investment or an insurance partner? Because on the one hand, you have a large user base. Indonesia is a big country. At the same time, you are dealing with the lowest part of the pyramid, as you've put it. So ticket size is very small, net asset size is very small. So is this genuinely a lucrative opportunity for your partners?
Actually, it's much more attractive and profitable because of this low size loans. Then we can give a competitive interest rates and attractive interest rates. Our loan size is around $300 to $500, and the interest rate is around 20 to 30% per year. And when we talk about 20% from $300, it means $60 to $90, right? So $60-$90, the amount is affordable for the size of the loans and for this size of the interest. And when we do about significant volumes, we talk about 1.2 million borrowers, and now in Amartha we are acquiring 100,000 borrowers every month. So this size of the volume that become attractive for financial institutions and individual. For financial institutions, the volumes that Amartha brings to them quite attractive because it fits with their fund size there, and also it helps them better understand the risk because the proven quality of Amartha underwriting process on this segment. So they in Indonesia financial institution, they have obligations to allocate certain portions, 20 to 30% portions of their funding to SMEs markets. And by partnering with us like Amartha, it helps them to
achieve that goal of reaching these people.
To achieve that goals with quality borrowers as well. Yeah, right. So they don't need to reinvent, or they don't need to rebuild their own underwriting for MSMEs.
Yeah. Since you've gone digital in your business, and we've seen the whole rise of new economy type of businesses in Southeast Asia, yet you're still dealing with cash a lot. Are you finding when it comes to moving money among accounts or people paying for paying back the loans or paying a fee on the service, is that also still in cash and you have to handle that cash, or are you finding ways to either get them to open a wallet or find some other means of having them digitize their finances?
So what we now our business model already hybrid. So and the areas on or in the village that is more and the community more digitally literate. Our mobile app platforms will make their life much more easier to top up for new loans for to invest their money directly to get attractive returns, 7 to 15% returns, or even to connect to the e-commerce platforms.
Right.
For some locations in Indonesia, Sumatra, Sulawesi, with much more remote villages, we do still do the transaction in cash. Yes, and what we do in Amartha is as we see more and much more stable internet connections, internet connectivity in the village. We told them that if you use our own smartphones, mobile app, it will give you much more comfort and security with your money, and much more simple and efficient managing their own cash flow transactions.
Does that bump you up into, I guess there's two places I could see where you'd be having maybe some friction with getting people to use your app. One would be obviously companies like GoTo that have, the Gojek ride hailing app. Maybe people are already comfortable using that, or Grab or something like that. And then also Facebook, I understand, can, for a lot of people, is often their portal into the internet. So how do you convince people to use your app when they might already be thinking, oh, I've got these other ways to connect? I mean, do you have to compete against these big players, or is it a different kind of pitch?
Yeah, it's a different kind of pitch and different kind of segments, if I put it that way. So if we talk about those go-to players, mostly they tap and they try to digitize urban markets, urban third tier, fourth tier segments. Then they run their business in the urban economy. And if we talk about social media, definitely it's different business with us, and it's not directly competing with us. What we do in Amartha is we are dedicate our services to people at the underserved, people at the village economy, those with access currently or previously from traditional banks or a local cooperative or a local rural banks. So what we do, instead of you use services from those local rural banks, you can run your business, upgrade your business with Amartha services, and much more simpler and convenient as well through their own smartphones, especially when we talk about money, when they want to check their investment balance, because the interesting value propositions that what we are building in Amartha is you can get attractive 7 to 15% return. And you don't instead of you have your own savings accounts which give you 1 to 2% return. Why don't you directly open investment accounts in Amartha? You can get 7 to 15% returns. So this kind of value.
There's a real incentive then when you explain it to them. Yeah. How is current market conditions changing the outlook for your business with rising inflation? And obviously macro conditions are difficult. They're probably not as difficult in Indonesia as they are in other parts of the world, but still changing situation. Is that going to have an impact on the kind of spreads you can make, and on the ability for people to continue to borrow?
Yeah, if we talk about the current macro conditions, definitely we continue to follow the trend and try to anticipate what's the impacts directly going to hit to this to our customers, especially. But the main points that I also would like to highlight is we since the beginning we started the business, we built the business with profitable and sustainable angle. We grow the business profitably. Last year, the business grow 2 times. We deploy over 200 million US dollars loans. And this year, we are on track to deploy another 550 million US dollars loans to this segment.
And that's in 2022.
That's in 2022, and projected on track to reach that numbers. Well, maintain the same high NPL numbers of 0.5%. The business is healthy, and we continue to double down our impact to serving more villages, opening more outreach in the village where we haven't really have significant coverage. And
it's also a difficult time for raising funds for startups or small businesses like Amartha. What is your funding situation now? And are you having to go back to venture capital companies or other sources of funding to continue?
Yeah, we do backed by venture capitals globally. From Indonesia, we backed by reputable venture capitals investors. One of them is Indonesia largest financial services company, Bank Mandiri. We also backed by UOB from Singapore, Lion Bank from Korea, Impact Fund from New York, Women's World Banking. And they are very happy to see the growth of the business and the impact that we create. So far, I think the way they see is since we built business healthy and profitable, it's less impact to the current macro fundraising climate for startups. So
okay, so you're kind of insulated from some of the mess going on in Silicon Valley right now.
Yeah, at least so far we don't have any rush about do fundraising. We can wait the right momentum and be patient to meet with the right investors aligned in terms of missions and also visions in building this business.
What's going to be on the agenda for you for 2023?
2023. So it took us 12 years to reach 1 million borrowers. So for some people, they will see it why we grow so slow. For me as well, I'm also impatient. I also saw it. Finally, we made it this 1 million milestone. So next year, I think with the current infrastructures, with the current resource that we have, double down to 2 millions, it's something achievable in 1 year. So we will continue serving more customers out there. We will continue to provide more financial services. So the business model already evolving beyond just Grameen microfinance. We connecting our customers not only loans but also investment products, commerce products. We also build infrastructures in the village, upgrading mom and pop stalls to become banking touch points or payment points. So every economies in the village can be part of the growing digital economy.
That's great. That's great, Taufan. And just one last question to challenge you a little bit is we've seen in China, US, other places, kind of these platform models, peer-to-peer type platforms. There are some successes, but often they fail. So how have you look as your growth is now really kicking in? How do you make sure that you manage to avoid some of the bad luck or some of the mistakes others had, and how do you make sure you keep things on track so that you can continue to grow in a sustainable and robust way?
Yeah, so I think the way we try to understand how we continue to thrive in this hard and challenging economies is because the customers that we serve. We are serving very attractive customers, grassroots economy, woman-led SMEs, markets in the village. Second is we build business not necessarily about platforms, but also we build relationships because we have people on the grounds who continue build business not only on the transactionals about lending and payments of the installments, but also how we help them grow their business. And also the third part is the angles of collective responsibility, how we leverage community as a whole to help us build more trustworthy economy or village economy, so they can support each others and grow together.
So I think that's a really interesting business that you've put together, Taufan. You know, you've got the finance side, you've got the technology side, but you've also got this community side to it, which I find often is lacking in some of these other peer-to-peer products or some of these emerging market business ideas, where sometimes just that local touch can be elusive. But at the same time, you've got to be able to scale this. We've got a lot of people on the ground. So I guess, are you getting any questions from your investors about, you know, sort of returns and level of profitability, or are you able to manage the costs of this efficiently?
It's not easy for us to educate the people out there about how this business model works. People always see when you have a lot of people, it's high cost, it's become a fixed cost, and you couldn't scale fast. But I think on this lending businesses, financial services businesses, we build business with quality. We grow. We can continue grow double every year. We can also choose to grow quadruple. We can grow 5 times, 6 times, but it will definitely impacts to the quality of the business. So we try to measure this balance between grow and quality, and that's the way we see in Amartha. And also, I think some people out there also see why you just continue grow like that, why you don't spend more money and reduce and compensate revenue to growth. And then I think that's something that as an entrepreneur you need to be able to balance how you want to build a enduring company, enduring businesses. And I think it's about building a high quality revenue, sustainable growth of the company, and also the cultures of the organizations where people really own the business to the missions, to serving people at the bottom of the pyramids, especially in Amartha.
Yeah, great. Well, look, Taufan, it's been a pleasure to speak with you. Thank you for sharing your story with us, and good luck with this growth story.
Thank you so much, James.